Here we go. Let's see if this is let's get it started here. There we go. Now we're back to going. Now we're back. Now we're rocking and a rolling. But all right, so we are back. Sorry about that for the technical difficulties. We're all having technical difficulties here. Jared's laptop's taking a shit. My laptop apparently wanted to freeze up for a half a second, ending ending the live stream, and we are back. Yes, indeed. Yeah, for some odd reason, my computer, like, it's a nice laptop, but it's just once in a while it likes to just go. It'll just black out and have a seizure for half a second.
Okay.
And here
Oh,
goes Hunter. He says you can run from doing your show, but unfortunately you can't run from Deshaun Watson on Sunday. First and foremost, Hunter, you know damn well, and I'm going to make the announcement right now. I'm about 99% sure I'm doing a live reaction stream on Sunday. Because once again, Brown Steelers is personal. For
it
me.
is. For
It
you,
is
yeah.
personal. This is personal. Each and every time, twice a year, it is personal. Because I got to deal with Hunter. And I got to deal with all my friends who are Browns fans around here. So any chance we get to whoop their ass. Oh, it feels great. We go get to whoop their ass. They got us week 3.
We
I
need
ain't
to
gonna make no
split.
excuse for it. But we go get their ass. They gonna meet some Kenny Pickett. And Kenny Pickett's go get on that ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, he is a Browns fan. At the end of the day, he should just, come over to the dark side. It would be fun. I mean, there's less pain. There's less pain.
A lot of bright future for the
You got
Steelers,
a
I
very
could say.
bright future with the Steelers. And then you have the Browns team where they're going to have to get rid of some good players because, they decided to pay their quarterback $230 million and it's not good. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be one of those people. I do understand the context of, I mean, the people who are honestly saying that Deshaun Watson, that have actually said that Deshaun Watson has been playing. No, there's been a couple games he's been awful, but for me, obviously, I get stuck watching all the games every year. There are some games where he looks better than what the stats show. I'll say that. But getting back to before we got interrupted, you were talking a little bit more about the Damar Hamlin thing. So I'll let you continue that real quick.
It was just, it was just shocking, never seeing a player collapse and never thought about losing their life on a field. That's like the last thing on your mind when you're watching an NFL game because you think it will never happen to that person. Yeah, you'll see injuries, but never to that extent.
I mean, you hear the cliche of, I'm prepared to die. I'm prepared to go to war with my brothers. But at the end of the day, you don't. I mean, yes, they love the game that much, but at the end of the day, they don't expect to get up, get ready to go to the game, go onto the field, have another game of them achieving a dream, and not coming home. I mean, and it really puts once again things into perspective where they are humans. We saw that the emotions, because once again, people, and obviously, I mean, there's difference between like troll accounts who are like on Twitter, who are just being trolls to get the reactions, but then there are certain people who will literally feel like they're only there for our entertainment, and they don't care about anything else. And those are the worst kind of people, and those are the kind of people you shouldn't be around. But at the end of the day, you saw the emotions on those players. And they made the absolute right call by suspending the game. There was absolutely no way that they were going to be able to play that game. So I think they made the absolute right call there.
For sure. They even for the rest of this week, I don't know how it's going to play out now. Whole bunch of scenarios everyone wants to talk about, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's how I see it.
Steel Black says Damar was a Steeler. Yeah, he literally made a tweet saying that. Hold on. I'm just gonna not comment on what I just saw on my phone. I will not comment whatsoever. I'll just keep it at that.
Understood.
Okay, back to the regularly scheduled programming. I was talking about the positives right before you came on. Actually, Derpy says, funny, Browns fans that Braun is now 38, but he's the only person in imaginary commercial that could lead the Browns to a Super Bowl. That was 13 years ago. Browns will always be the Browns. Yeah, Browns for Finn Brown. Hey, what did Juju say that one time? The Browns is the Browns.
Browns is the Browns.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Back to the regularly scheduled programming again for the fourth time. So right before you got on, we were talking about the positives of the game from Sunday. And some of the things that I saw that were very positive. Again, over 50% on third down. 351 total yards of offense once again. The rushing attack, almost 200 yards of rushing on once again. You won the time of possession once again. Obviously, yes, it was nice to see Kenny Pickett go down and have another game-winning drive while he was down. So that was nice to see. So those are definitely some positives. Some of the negatives. 6 penalties. You still got to clean that up. And we talked about the one penalty that was the Cam Hayward play. But at the end of the day, it would have been a comfort thing for us fans to use that as an excuse, but you would have had a whole nother half.
Yeah. And I think Boswell, still not 100%.
Yeah, there's something going. Boz is not well.
Because he doesn't miss field goals like that, Doesn't miss one. He usually doesn't, but,
Yeah, I don't know. That was something. But yeah, and then again, maybe some of the more negative. And actually another positive was the Baltimore Ravens had 220 yards of rushing on you last time, a couple weeks ago. You held them down to 120. So a team that wants to run the football, holding them to 100 yards less than what you did in the first matchup, pretty damn good.
Oh, for sure. A lot better.
Hunter says Pickett and Harris equals Whedon and Richardson 2.0.
Oh, okay.
Or, you know what? I'm going to pull out my Andrew Filipponi in me. Pickett and Harris. Actually, well, no. We'll do Pickett and Pickens. Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Here we go.
Okay, all right now.
I knew that would get you.
Listen,
no, but,
Najee's been doing better since the bye. It's been a great help.
Yeah, Najee, the rushing attack has been. Here's what's funny. So I saw something today. The most rushing yards after contact since week 10. Najee is second in the NFL with 308, only behind Josh Jacobs.
I wouldn't even think of that. It would be second at all.
So that's something that's very positive as well. The Steelers in the last 8 games they've rushed for the 8th most rushing yards in the last 8 games. They're averaging 146 yards on the ground this year.
That running back duel needs to stay.
Every game outside of that first Ravens game, the team has rushed for at least 100 yards as a team. Positivity.
I saw the comment before you got interrupted. Shout out to Marcus. We need just a NFL OC besides Matt Canada after this season.
Listen, so I mentioned this. I was earlier this week. I was on a podcast, the Browns Blitz. I was on the podcast with them. We were talking about this matchup with the Browns and Steelers, and I mentioned that. I said, listen, if you can give Kenny Pickett a competent coordinator that could give you a Sunday-ish offense and not a Friday-ish offense, I think we'll be up to something. But for now, got it. Give me someone better. Give me someone than Matt Country up north. Give me someone.
I did listen to that podcast anyway, so I heard that.
Gods, hold on. Football gods, can you please give us a competent offensive coordinator? Can you please hope that the front office for the Pittsburgh Steelers don't get fooled by, yes, the offense has played a little bit better, but the offense that we were having beforehand, you couldn't get much worse than that. So any kind of improvement really didn't matter because it's still fool's gold. So please, I'm begging to the Lord above, can we please not get fooled? And can we please get rid of this bum? Thank you.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know about Lincoln Riley.
Someone said me wanting Lincoln, or Derpy says me wanting Lincoln Riley, but I mean it's risky. Then Hunter says now send me your dealer. Oh, good Lord, have mercy. Oh boy. But yeah, I'm just saying. That's one thing too that we could ask this question of. Will this possibly be the final time that we saw Matt Canada in a press conference this year?
Probably one more after this game. If we don't make the playoffs, he's out of there.
Now, here's what's interesting about this. We've had, like, for an example, with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, you've had two different reporters who both work for the same publisher say two different things. One person says he's good as gone, and another person says, hold up, not so fast. You would think that those two would have very similar sources. So it makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder. Steel Black says Pickens continued to be a poster wide receiver. The wave, the AI step over, the nose wipe. Yeah, Pickens when he gets the opportunity is a beast. He's a dog. He is a beast. Sure. And that's something that I'll be more excited to see is, and here's my thing too, when it comes to Matt Canada. Because as much as we love to blame Matt Canada, and yes, he deserves some blame, I can't give him 100% of the blame.
Well, of course not.
You have to give some of it, and it's been said, you got to give some of this on Mike Tomlin. Because and again, I'm not one of those weirdos that wants to run Mike Tomlin out of town. I'm not being one of those weirdos, and neither are you. But we can both accept the fact that, yes, there are some flaws, and this is the way that he wants to run things. This is the way that Mike Tomlin wants his offense ran. For all we know, honestly, Matt Canada could have been saying that he wants Kenny Pickett to start from week 1, and Mike Tomlin said, shut your mouth, we're going with Mitch. For all we know, this could possibly be, Matt Canada may want to, extend things a little bit, and Mike Tomlin said, hey, hold your horses. We're not so fast. We're going to keep this very conservative. We don't know that. But at the end of the day, so you have to give some blame to Mike Tomlin. And yes, you have to give blame to Matt Canada, of course, as we're trying to run him out of town, if we're trying to run anyone out of town. But at the end of the day, my fear is going to be, say you do get a new offense coordinator. So say that Matt Canada gets fired and we're all happy. We're ecstatic of joy. Say they bring in Jarryd Sanchez as offensive coordinator. Mike Tomlin says, listen, I don't care. We're still going to run this conservative offense. See, that's going to be my fear because Mike Tomlin is a power guy. He is a guy that wants power and control. You might have I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but say you just throw it out the window. Say that you bring in Frank Wright as the offensive coordinator. Now, it's not going to happen, but just say, for example, that was the case. He's a guy, another former head coach. He's a guy that he's going to want to open things up.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still what Mike Tomlin wants. And if Mike Tomlin says, no, we're still going to run this kind of offense, then we're going to see it once again. And I'm not saying that because Marcus says, oh, God, no. I don't know. I'm not saying that was just an example. I
think he's just saying about me. If you said
he said not Jarryd. Not Jarryd. Okay, here. How about this? We'll put Marcus Rose as offensive coordinator. How about that?
I don't know about that. He'd fall asleep at halftime.
Damn. Oh, damn, Marcus. What you got to say to that?
But anyways.
Shit.
Rooney's have to say something, though. They know they got to say something about the offense. Like, even though they're not, they let Mike Tomlin do what they want, they got to step in at some point.
We've seen this happen. I think this happened between Bruce Arians and Todd Haley. I think it happened there. So, but my fear is going to be that they're going to say, nope, you have 1 year left on your contract. You're serving that. And the reason why that's going to piss me off beyond belief.
Well, it's going to piss more than just you off.
Oh, I know. It's going to piss damn near everyone off. Except for probably the 0.1% of people who actually think that Matt Canada deserves to stay. It's going to piss me off because I think it's going to be another year of wasted
talent.
A wasted year of TJ Watt. A wasted year of Cam Hayward. A wasted year of Minka. And I understand that people who will say you don't want to mess with Kenny Pickett in his head in terms of learning a new playbook. Whether it happens this year or next year, eventually it's going to happen.
Yep.
So, at the end of the day, you might as well do it a little bit earlier, bring in a guy that you feel more confident in, and go from there. Let him learn a new offense, and hopefully this is a guy that actually sticks, and here you go. Now you can get things going. Now you can take a year or so to develop this offense. Now, and you'll have a year under the belt of having chemistry with George Pickens, another, Deontay Johnson, and all these guys. You're going to have a year under your belt with that. So at the end of the day, this is something that we all need to have happen. Again, good Lord! Can we please not get fooled? Thank you, once again.
We'll see what happens. I don't know if it'll be soon, if it'll be later, It's got to be before the draft where we find out if they have a new OC or not. It's got to be.
Hopefully. You know what? Real quick, I'm going to get off topic for a half a second. I just realized something. There's something that we do here on this show that's basically me that I could turn into a drinking game.
Oh, boy.
I tend to notice that I say, so at the end of the day, I say that a lot. Even just have a drinking game where take a shot anytime I say, so at the end of the day.
For yourself?
No. For someone else. So for the viewers, anytime I say at the end, so at the end of the day, they got to take another shot. We'll see how their livers are feeling at the end.
It can't be me. I'm a working man.
So you're a blue collar guy, just what people need. And I know a certain someone who might be interested in a blue collar man just like you.
Who?
You know who. And Marcus knows as well.
All right. On to the next topic.
Oh, yes, we are going to get back into things. Let's talk about the run game for a minute. Because this was something that I was really excited about. I was excited to see Najee Harris have another one of these nice games. 22 carries for 111 yards, 5 yards a pop. That's what you need. That's improved. We're seeing a whole lot more of that improvement in the run game. Something that I mentioned earlier. You're averaging 146 yards on the ground, including multiple games where you've had over 200 or very close to 200.
Shout out to the O-line.
That is improvement. That is something that you really need to see. Imagine this. Imagine being able to run the football the way that you are and having actually a Sunday-ish passing attack.
Oh, God.
We would be in 2014 all over again. We would be in 2017. We'd be in 2018 all over again. Remember those days? Those were fun days to watch Steeler offenses. They were fun to watch, let's be honest.
Oh, man. Every time you throw down the field, you know what's going to happen.
I mean, you get George Pickens, then you get Deontay Johnson. He could be a guy that gets one-on-one, or he could get open. Pat Freiermuth. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens with Calvin Austin. You get little Steven Sims. He's been making a somewhat impact. So you just get all these guys. You could do something. But this is improvement that I like to see. I also like to see that Jaylen Warren get 12 carries, 76 yards. He averaged 6.3 yards a pop. That is very good. Between your number one and your number two, you like to see that.
Where'd they find him, man? Undrafted, man.
Undrafted. And there was something that came out this week, said the only reason why he came here was because they offered him the most money. Well, whoever scouted him and said we need to bring him in, thank you, because that was definitely a diamond in the rough.
Because, wow, came in to be an RB2.
And it was someone else, too, that they brought in. And during training camp, that was another one of those undrafted free agent guys who didn't make it. And there were reporters saying from rookie minicamp that they knew this guy was going to be a stud.
Mm-hmm.
And here you go. He's doing something for us as well. But yeah, that's something that you really like to see. Is the running attack continuing to grow, continuing to develop. And you have to give props to the offensive line as well. And one thing that's been very nice is the fact that we have not really had any movement in the offensive line at all.
This whole season.
I mean, yes, there might be bits or pieces that have been pissing us off. Dan Moore. But at the end of the day, they're gaining the chemistry, and you're seeing that you're seeing that pan out. The running attack has been improving. Why is that? Because Najee Harris is starting to, when you have two new guys in the offensive line, it takes time for the running back to understand the way that they block and understand what their skill set is. And it seemed like at one point Najee Harris was trying to become Najee Bell. And that just simply isn't him because of the chemistry he had, or lack thereof, with this offensive line and the two new linemen. Now you saw them grow together, and now you're seeing the effects of it in a positive manner.
Yeah, it's great. It takes time. That's what development takes time to gel, as people say.
Yeah, it takes time, and we're starting to see this. Now, still give me a left tackle.
Still give me a left tackle. You can give me a left tackle. You can give me a left guard. I wouldn't be upset. Maybe a center if there's a good one out there, but Mason Cole's been doing his job. So
hey, Mason Cole he's been doing a fine job. I think who was it earlier? I think it was Derpy. Derpy, you made a comment about Addison. If you're still in here, redrop that comment. Because I want to talk about that. Because I remember that was something that I wanted to discuss. But
which Addison is this? This is Jordan Addison?
I think it is Mr. Jordan Addison. Because there are still... And I think Derpy is one of those guys that if I'm not mistaken, he is one of those people who wants us to drive a receiver. Now, obviously, I know you and me disagree. Dotson has been the worst He was the cause of Pickett's injuries. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Dotson has not been the greatest either, and that's why Jarryd said as well, Dotson has, he would be okay with a left. That's why I said left tackle, Dan Moore. That's why he said left guard, Kevin Dotson.
Wouldn't be upset. Like, our best O-lineman, I would say, it's James Daniels. It's been really good.
Hey, free agency pickup. That was... And it's worked out pretty well for us.
And I think they're going to more than sign a receiver than draft one, personally. I think they'd rather go get a vet. I don't know any names, but we'll see. That's all I'll say.
Now I'm curious. Let's go to NFL free agents of 2023. Let's have some fun. Let's go down this rabbit hole.
There's someone that could be another good person in the slot that's been here before.
I was going to say, it sounds like you have someone in mind. You want to just go ahead and throw that name out real quick?
I wouldn't be upset with a Juju re-sign back. He's only on... Everyone is going to be like, why? Look what he's done for Kansas City. It took him some time, but he'll be good on a pickup as a veteran. I considered a vet, I guess. What, he's been 5 seasons right now?
I think he's in year 6 now.
6. It's crazy how fast time flies. But anyways, yeah, year 6 because he did sign one more year with us. That's right. So that's year 6. He's so good. He's good in the slot, man. And with Pickens and Deontay, be a
so
great.
Here, I'm gonna throw out some names that are free agents next year at wide receiver. Nelson Aguilar.
No.
Sterling Shepard.
Hell no.
DJ Chark. Probably too expensive. I don't think he would.
He's okay, but he'll probably be too much.
Randall Cobb.
No.
Marvin Jones.
I guess, maybe.
Julio Jones. No.
God, no.
Byron Pringle.
Actually, wouldn't be bad.
What's up, Courtney? How you doing? Said Anthony Miller will be back off IR next year to play in the slot. James Washington is a free agent now.
That's very true. I forgot about Anthony Miller, that he's still on IR.
Yeah, I did actually forget about him a lot. And then obviously you still have Calvin Austin and Steven Sims. But the only reason why we went down this rabbit hole is because we had a viewer, before we had technical difficulties, he's been let's draft a receiver in the first round. And Jarryd made the comment of saying he thinks that we'd have a better chance of signing someone in free agency rather than drafting someone, which I would agree with, and we decided to go down the rabbit hole. So that's why we are talking about this.
If you want to talk about who I would sign at what position then draft, especially receiver, we could maybe they have to re-sign another linebacker, inside linebacker at least. I know maybe draft one is more important, but there's not many inside linebackers this draft.
Here, I can probably pull this up here because I've been making a list of. Let me pull this up. I've been making a list of linebackers or just players in general that I think that could get drafted. Let's talk about linebackers here. So far, there's really only 3.
Exactly, and we're not going to draft a linebacker.
Trenton Simpson from Clemson. Drew Sanders from Arkansas, and Noah Sewell.
That's pretty much it. Most of those guys are pretty much. Well, I know.
Now, here's where I would not be opposed. Here's something that I would not be opposed of doing. I know that you're very big on Christian Gonzalez. I know a couple of our friends are very big on Christian Gonzalez. Whether you're high on him, some people are still high on Kaylee Ringo, or Cam Smith, or Devin Witherspoon, or Brian Branch, or Joey Porter Jr., or Antonio Johnson, whoever the hell you are a fan of, that you would like to see the Steelers take. I would be almost okay with them getting a corner with one of the 2 second round picks. say for an example, there is a linebacker that you like. I'll just throw say Drew Sanders. I'm not saying, but say for an example that was a guy that the Steelers were really high on. But they don't think that the linebacking depth is as high or is as deep as, say, the corners or the offensive linemen, offensive tackles. Maybe in that situation, you would be okay with them taking a linebacker in the first round, getting your guy where you know that the depth isn't as deep, and then using two of those second round picks on positions that have more depth.
Well, it's most likely going to be number 32 with the first second round pick, which I hope it is. It'll be fantastic. 32 to 33, I'll be fine with. But
so, like, especially, like, I can see them doing something, like, if they like a Devin Witherspoon, which, oh boy, another Witherspoon in Pittsburgh. But yeah, or say, for an example, say somehow Christian Gonzalez were to drop. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen.
My God. That's a calling saying, get him right now.
So there you go. You can see that happen. And then, or same with the offensive line as well. I mean, you got Peter Skoronski, you still got Broderick Jones, you got Paris Johnson, you got Jalen Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it all depends. It's going to be very interesting to see throughout the draft process, and we're really starting to get into things, especially if the Steelers were to lose on Sunday, and the season's officially over. It's going straight into draft.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on Sunday. Well, I like to win on Sunday.
Of course, because at the end of the day, I need it for my own sanity. Because here's a fun fact. You know when's the last time that the Browns have swept the Steelers?
A long time.
1988.
Wow. Not even existed.
1988. I was -11.
Not even existed. 10 years.
Yeah,
10 years later,
-11. So Steel Black says, I know one wide receiver I don't want to draft. He plays for LSU. We don't need gangbangs in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room.
Oh God. Well, as of right now, I see what you're saying with the first round pick. It could be linebacker, as I now think about it more, as you talked about it, because there is a lot of depth at offensive tackle and corner in this draft, and we have the first 3 picks in the top 50, basically, or 75 at most. It's pretty. I could see linebacker, corner, offensive tackle. You could see linebacker, offensive tackle, corner. It could. That's all. That's. It's gonna be a great draft process. I'm excited for it.
Right now, we are at pick 15.
Ooh, that's a nice spot too.
So right now, you have picks 15, 34, 50, 81, 118, and 236.
Still first, 34, 50.
I also necessarily wouldn't. I mean, how would you feel being opposed to a interior defensive lineman?
I wouldn't be upset with it.
Because,
they need it.
Because here's my thing. Obviously, you're going to say... So, we're saying that the big 4 things that you would like to address. Offensive tackle, defensive line, interior defensive line, maybe a linebacker, and corner. Because I'm very curious... Here's my thing, too. I'm going to be very curious to see how they handle Cam Sutton. Because Cam Sutton is going to get himself a little bag. I would love to see the Steelers, but my fear is going to be like with what happened with Mike Hilton.
Yeah. The thing is with Cam Sutton, me and my friend, I'll shout out to Jacob, we talked about it. If you ask more than $7 to $8 million a year, I don't think they're going to resign him. He might ask for like $10 million a year, depending how long the contract is, which he deserves. Deserves $10 million a year, which is not that the Steelers are not going to pay $10 million a year for a corner. There's no way.
So, and Marcus says we need an inside linebacker so bad none of them can cover. And that's why we're talking about the possibility of going after one of these guys. I mean, Devin Bush, this very well could be the possible last game that we see him, which, thank God, goodbye. I mean, for God's sakes, he saw 5 defensive snaps.
I hate to see it. I love Devin Bush, but I understand it's that time. It's unfortunate. It's going to be one of those draft picks where, unfortunately, after that ACL injury, just wasn't back to his normal self again.
I have an idea. We could have another brother duo.
I know who you think you're talking about because he's a free agent.
Tremaine Edmonds.
Be a great signing too, but depending how much he asks for, that's
You know what's tough. Ironic? I just had this thought, thinking about like this last draft class, and I was tossing around the idea of the Steelers drafting Devin Lloyd, and I was thinking, I'm like, okay, so you have an inside linebacker, so you have a linebacker in Pittsburgh. On one hand, you could say another Devin linebacker, not so well. Or you could have a linebacker in Pittsburgh with the last name Lloyd. Now that looks a lot better. Because we have history of having a bad Devin and a good Lloyd. So
here's another thing, too. So Bush, Spillane are both free agents. And then Miles Jack has just one more year left.
And then after that, I mean, who else do you trust? I mean, we just saw Mark Robinson for the first time get actual action. It's only the second time he's gotten a helmet this year or something like that. So
yeah, and he played well, which is good, but you need consistency. You need more.
You know who I would love to see the Steelers go out and get? And I think you could get him maybe on like a 1 or 2 year deal, maybe. Anthony Walker. Now, he did get hurt week 3. He was in the Browns game. But I like him a lot. I was pissed when the Browns got him last year. And I think he would be a nice little addition to this linebacker. He'd be cheap, but I think he would be fun too. He'd be nice. But
that's an option.
I mean,
I think the Steelers got to keep one, unless they let both of them go. That means you got to get 2 linebackers. Not necessarily, but
let's look at some of the inside linebackers who are free agents this year. Deion Jones.
He's good.
Levante David.
I don't know how much he's going to be asking for.
Yeah, I was going to say he might be asking. I'm not even going to say Devin Bush because goodbye. Roquan Smith, he's going to be way too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony Walker. Tyler Medicovich.
No, don't bring that. Nope, hell no. Hate seeing that guy in the field. Don't want him back. Sorry.
Tremaine Edmonds.
Like I said, that's probably the one they should go for. If
Denzel Perriman.
He's not bad.
Corey Littleton.
All right.
He brought up Leighton Vander Esch.
I liked Vander Esch in the draft. I wish they had him instead. So if he's out there free agency, I would like to test it myself.
See, here's my thing with Terrell Edmonds because, that was the same draft. Hey, Terrell Edmonds, when you look at things, Terrell Edmonds screamed being a Steeler safety. And at the end of the day, I still like Terrell Edmonds. I like him still.
Yeah, everyone he's a must re-sign after this offseason.
I'll say I'd like to see them bring him back again.
Well, they should. And there's a lot of shoulds that they should re-sign this offseason.
I really loved the addition when they brought in DeMonte KZ because I think that here. All right, I'm tossing out an idea right here, right now.
Oh boy!
Bring back KZ. Bring back Terrell Edmonds if you can't find a linebacker. Maybe bring Terrell Edmonds more in the box and play him as like a linebacker.
Well, that's what he's been doing this season, anyways.
Well, no, I'm saying, but make that like a full-time thing.
That's possible, but.
Because you have a guy that he could play in the box. I mean, we all know Mika could play in the box as well, but you want him roaming.
Mm-hmm.
KZ's
You
a
do.
guy. I mean, if you add speed, a lot of speed, some good coverage, but you still have someone who can beat that physical guy in the box, and that Terrell Edmonds can be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, may not
We'll
be a
see.
bad idea to toss him around. Maybe do that, more than what they have done, because we have seen that.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It, I don't know what's going to happen until this season's over. Then we'll get a clearer picture of who's going to come back, who's not going to come back. But we'll see. We might still be able to make the playoffs still. We'll see.
Which is going to be an interesting thing to see, with them possibly throwing the idea of maybe a 8th team in the AFC for the playoffs.
There's no way.
There's
no. If that happens, then what about the NFC? They're going to have an A seed?
I don't know. I'm just glad I'm not making these decisions.
Exactly. There's no way they're making an 8 seed. What I think the NFL is going to do, it's either the game's not going to count.
Well, I think it's already counted as a no contest.
Or as a no con. Yeah, I think they did, but are they going to reschedule it
No.
next week at all?
No.
Do you think exactly? Do you think that's going to happen? No. So what do you count that as? They're going to go by win percentage, which I guess there's no wrong decision. It's unfortunate that this happened. It's very tough what to do, but if I'm the Bills if I'm the Bills, like, you want that number 1 seed. And now, because Kansas City's going to play Denver. Come on. If Kansas City wins, they have the number 1 seed, and Buffalo beat Kansas City.
Well, I think also part of it too was Buffalo plays New England. New England is a team that's ahead of us.
Which is true.
Right now they have that 7th seed, so we need them to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, exactly, which is true. They have to win this game, but since that game's a no contest.
And then Miami plays the Jets this week, which we don't know if Miami's going to play Skylar Thompson or if they're going to play Teddy Bridgewater.
I think it's Skylar Thompson more likely.
And then New York, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. I mean, are they going to play Mike White?
Yeah, he was limited today, which is not good for us if you want to make the playoffs. But
you know what? Here, I'm going to say this right now. With all this whole thing that's going on, at the end of the day, say one of those teams that we need to lose doesn't lose and they actually come out a win. I can't get mad at them. We had how many weeks? We had 16 weeks.
Yeah.
To take care of business.
They didn't take care of business.
It wasn't their fault that we let Zach Wilson, who's gotten benched 75 times in one season, come back against us. It wasn't. I mean, you look at so many games that if you would have won one more of those games, you would have been a whole. I mean, any of the AFC East games. Now, Buffalo, you just got throttled, but that's also to no one's surprise.
It would have been a win-win scenario.
Look at the other 3 games. Once again, the Patriots game that we were at. That could have been a crucial game. The Jets game, the Dolphins game. The Dolphins, you had 2 separate opportunities late in the game to score and win that game. You didn't. So you can only blame yourself.
Yeah, don't forget those 4 drop interceptions.
There you go. So at the end of the day, I can't get mad if we don't make the playoffs, because at the end of the day, there's been so many times where we could have, should have, would have. You could have done something and you didn't. It sucks, but you can't blame anyone else but yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a problem. And at the end of the day, Pickett's been improving. If he ends up on a high note, a lot of good future potential into next season.
Although I'm gonna say I'm not necessarily the one to believe into like the whole, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but I know people believe into, getting momentum going into next year. I'm not one of those people that believes in that. I don't believe in that kind of thing.
I can no, yeah, I get you, but I just think not momentum. I just say mentally, you left it on a high note on the field.
Oh yeah, I mean I get what you mean there, but there are some people who believe that we won this many games straight. We'll have momentum going into next.
No, that's not true. It's just you left it on a high note, you ended off on a good note. That's how I see it. And now you try to improve again next season. A lot of expectation for Pickett next season.
Yeah, going into year 2, we'll figure out what happens with the offensive coordinator situation.
Mm-hmm.
See who now. I don't remember exactly how much do the Steelers have cap space for next year.
I don't know. That's a great
looking
question.
it up on Sport Track.
It's a great question.
Salary cap, or let's see here. Because I want to know how much money they'll have. Cap space. That's the word I was thinking of. God damn, I couldn't think for a minute. Cap space. Here we go. If my computer if all these damn ads would go away. Here we go. The Steelers have looks like 17 million in cap space. So they have 17 million in cap space for next year.
Well, there could be some cuts that'll make it a lot more. We'll see.
So I'm looking to see who all
it's not a lot.
Who all they could possibly. I mean,
17 million? You sure? And on a rookie deal, Kenny Pickett? What?
Well, you gotta think you're also paying TJ, you're playing Minka, you're playing Deontay, you're paying Cam. Between those guys.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, so TJ's has almost a 30 million cap hit. Cam is 22, Minka is 18, Deontay is 16. Maybe do you see if Cam will, can you turn that into a signing bonus or something and, drop that number down as well. And then also William Jackson III. That's a guy that you're gonna ask to. You're gonna. He has a 12, almost 13 million cap hit next year. Yeah, you're gonna drop that
at least half, almost.
And then you can also. I think you might be able to get off of Mitch.
Oh yeah, if Mitch is not 10. Back, yeah.
So we'll see, because like we've talked about before, if you want to possibly re-sign Cam, possibly re-sign Terrell Edmonds, if you want to go and get yourself another free agent, you're gonna have to make some cap space here. I'll be interested to see if maybe they'll ask Chooks Okorafor. I'll just be curious to see how many of these guys they'll see if they'll drop their
money. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, cause, I mean, you have the possibility you could cut Mitch. I don't know how this.
Well, I think Mason's a free agent too, so.
Yeah, but you weren't paying Mason really anything, so.
Well, yeah, but I know. But if you got to keep one, you got to keep one.
Let's see. I'm looking to see. Okay. There are some guys that if you cut them post June 1st, you'll get some definite cap saving. So, this is also things that this is the reason why I don't act like I'm a capologist, because this stuff can
no
be
idea.
Confusing.
I have no idea either.
We'll need some. I'll definitely need to ask the some of the capologists on Steeler Twitter and see what happens.
For sure.
And see what all we can get. But yeah, they're expected to have about 17 million.
Okay. I expect more.
Other than that, I want to talk about real quick this game on Sunday, because once again, actually, Steel Black says, Kirby, do you think Kenny Pickett has started to crack his superstar egg? Here's what I'll say to here's what I'm gonna say to that.
I'll say crack superstar. Not.
Here's what I'll say. There are some players who get that kind of superstar attention from the media. whether it is worthy or not. Gardner Minshew had the media all riled up. He became a big name. He's a backup quarterback. Tim Tebow was a huge one. There are some players that you'll get that, and then they end up being great players. And then there's some, like I said, like Gardner Minshew, who is not. I think in the media, he is. But in terms of actual talent on the field, I still need to see a lot more before I go that far.
Agreed.
I would like to see him have more touchdowns than interceptions beforehand.
Agreed. Well, he needs a better OC for that. Not all the time, but
I mean,
I get what you're saying.
We'll see. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that, and that's what Jarrod's thoughts are on that. Talking about this game on Sunday, because this is going to be, obviously this is a big game. It's a big game for us. For Browns fans, for Browns fans, this is a huge game. And Myles Garrett came out with a comment saying, these are the games that we live for. What, you live for games that you're 2 weeks into being eliminated? Bud. Huh?
Doesn't make sense. These are the games that you live for. Wow. What a quote you have to say.
Yeah. You're 2 weeks from being eliminated in the playoffs. God,
isn't the Super Bowl's the goal? Not making the playoffs, first of all.
Oh my God, you want to talk about clown material? My God. But you know what? And I made this comment on the Browns Blitz podcast, which, by the way, if you haven't gone to check that out, me, Rod, and another Jeff on there as well. We talked about this game on Sunday. I made a comment on there. And it was kind of a hot take-ish kind of deal. And I said, don't be surprised if Myles Garrett requests to trade at the end of the year. Do not be surprised.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be.
Especially if they bring back Joe Woods, their defensive coordinator. Like how we are with Matt Canada, they are with their defensive coordinator. They want him gone. They want Joe Woods gone as much as we want Matt Canada gone. That's the comparison.
Great comparison. I understand.
So, yeah, that's where, but yeah, obviously for this Sunday, of course they got, Mike Tomlin alluded to it this week as well. You got to stop 24. You got to stop Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is a beast. I have absolutely nothing but respect for him. This very well could be the final game of Kareem Hunt there. We'll see what happens with him as a Cleveland Brown. David Njoku, he had a big game against you. Amari Cooper had over 107 catches against you the first go-around of Week 3. And obviously, now their linebacking core right now is not good because they've had 7. This is something that I got from there. They have 7 linebackers on IR.
Wow. Jeez.
So they have almost a whole defense worth of linebackers on IR. So yeah, I would like to attack them as much as possible. Myles Garrett, as much as what I just said, that he said something that was clownish, I still respect the hell out of his talents. And, he can be a game wrecker. And you got to watch out for him. You got to watch out for 90. And then obviously their offense, they have the potential. Now the offense it looked a little bit better. It has looked a little bit better throughout. Deshaun Watson, he's continuing to go. Now I'm going to be very curious to see what this might be. This might be the most hostile environment that he's been in since. Now he's played in Cincinnati, and I know that was hostile. I don't think it's going to be as hostile as it's going to be on Sunday in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. Wish I was there.
I wish I was too. You know what? We're going to make something work. I'm calling your job saying you need to be here.
And Kirby thinks I have money to go out there. You are crazy.
You do. Congratulations to you and all your success.
With that money just to leave. Hey guys, I'm just gonna go on a quick vacation real quick.
I mean, it seems like you can.
No.
But no, I've had a couple friends a couple of my Browns friends who really wants to go to this game. As much as I want to. And who knows? Who knows? We'll just say that.
Oh, you might make an appearance, huh?
Maybe I just wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and say, you know what? The hell with it. We're going. It's a 2.5-hour drive. The hell with it.
Yeah, it's better than me flying.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we'll see. I would like to eventually have to fly to get to a game, to get somewhere else. Because I've only been to 2 NFL stadiums.
Should. When they play,
Let's see.
they do go to SoFi next year. I know that. They go to SoFi. They go to Houston.
Here, I'm looking it up. So right now the teams that we have.
How far are you from Indy? They go back to Indy next year.
Indy would be interesting. So we have. So obviously you have the divisional games. Jacksonville's at home. Tennessee's at home. Arizona's at home. San Francisco's at home. That's a game that I'm probably gonna get to. There's a possible NFC North team.
At home or away?
At home. At Houston. You have the Rams at SoFi. You have Seattle in Seattle.
That'll be a nice one too. Oof, Seattle.
I would love to get to Seattle at some point.
That'd be a nice one. I'm hoping next season, whatever schedule comes out, that Jacksonville's the home opener.
Well, I mean, so are you actually coming to the home opener, or is that like?
I'll probably will go to the home opener. If it's not the Jags, I'm gonna go to the Jags game as well.
Okay.
So that means I won't go to SoFi because I'm not gonna pay. SoFi. That's a whole nother money right there that you don't have.
Listen, that
I don't have right there.
We all know how it is in LA.
We'll see because I do want to go to another stadium next year. I really want to do. I've never been to Indy. Never been to. I've been to all of Florida.
Indianapolis is travel distance for me. Like, it's drivable. Like, here. I'm gonna look this up from my house.
Drivable.
Lucas Oil Stadium here. Okay, so from where I am at right now, it's not even a 5-hour drive.
Oh my God. That's like going to Miami basically.
So if I wanted to, I could go there. It's the same with like Cincinnati. It's like a 4.5-hour drive to go to Cincinnati.
So I want to go to another stadium. Could be a divisional one, but we'll see what happens.
Maybe, just maybe, we'll work something out.
We'll see what happens. But the Jags game for sure, I'm going. I know that for sure, no matter what day it is.
So yeah, I would like that. That's gonna probably be me with San Francisco.
Yeah, probably won't unless it's the home opener.
So, I mean, we'll see. Maybe that is the case. That would be kind of fun. And Marcus, what?
What did he say? Oh boy, I'm not even reading it right now.
Marcus got the eyes emojis.
I don't know.
What you thinking, Marcus? What are you thinking? What game?
I hope it...
what game? Are you going to the home opener too, Marcus, or what game do you plan on possibly going to? Because we missed you last year.
I think we're all trying to go to the home opener next season.
Oh, listen, the home opener. That's something that is becoming a tradition for me.
Because I think that's a tradition where everybody should go. If you're a Steeler fan, you got to go to the home opener. It's the best time to go.
Because everyone is there.
Everyone is there. The weather's not bad at all.
Although, you know what? Hold on, time out. I went to the Browns Steelers home opener in 2018 when it was in Cleveland, and it was like 55 degrees and rain.
Well, I'm sorry, that's in Cleveland. Sorry.
I was pissed. Our home opener last year was the first time I'd ever been to a Steeler game that was not like cold, rainy, or snowy. Oh, Marcus at home opener, turn me up. Let's go.
Yeah, everyone's back for next season.
Oh, yeah. He said I'm back next season for show. Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
So, yeah, home opener, I recommend everybody go. It's like the best time of the year to go.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
So once you know when it's September, that means you know it's that time of the year.
Oh, man, I can't wait. Oh, boy, 2023 is about to be great, man. I'm so excited. Last year, you know what? 2022 has me feeling great. I got to do a bunch of fun-ass stuff in 2022. Got to go to the NBA All-Star Game. Went to Wrigley. Did a whole big baseball trip. Got to go to a couple other Guardians games. Went to a playoff game. Went to Pittsburgh. Went to Ohio State, Michigan. We did a lot in 2022. And then we got... Oh, yeah. You might appreciate this, but there's also the slightest of chance I might make it to Yankee Stadium this year, too.
Oh, wow. Oh, God. I want to go so bad.
Marcus says we need to catch an away game, too. Hey, depending on when it is, I would love to hit up that Indianapolis game. Maybe we'll see what happens when we get into April or May. I think it's May when the schedules come out.
May.
We'll have to get together. We'll have to talk in May and figure out what game we want to go to because we all got to get together for an away game too.
The time will fly. I'll tell you that.
Or shit, we could go to a Browns game. Browns Steelers.
We'll see. I don't know about that.
Why not?
Going to it's a shit place is what I call it.
You're not wrong there as well. You're not wrong. But other than that, we got so off track today, but you know what? We're having a blast. It's the first episode of 2023. We might as well start it off fun. We might as well start it off with a bang. But again, thank you all for tuning in. First, and also thank you guys for being sticking with us through all the technical difficulties that we were going through. But
appreciate it.
We also started off, we hit our goal, 600 subscribers before the end of last year. So we got to get to that. We got to get to that 4-digit.
If we hit 1K at the end of this year, I'll be big.
We got to get the 1K. We got to. Also,
1K.
I'm going to start here soon. We'll start posting a bunch of highlight reactions to some of the draft players that are going to possibly be coming out of the NFL draft. We'll be doing a bunch of those. So it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year.
Yes, it is. Can't wait.
And also real quick, he's not here. You know, work and, vacations at school has been going crazy. But I do want to say our other co-host, Caleb, I know you haven't seen him in a while. Congratulations to you. I know you just got recently engaged. So shout out to you.
Congrats.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you, my man. But
congrats. Wow.
Till then, hope to see you guys again next week. Or actually, I hope to see you this Sunday when I do a live reaction stream to the Browns Steelers. Oh, that's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be very entertaining. Because we might just make it even more entertaining. Maybe I'll bring on a Browns fan with me and we'll just do it together.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be great. But until then, I'm Jeff. That's Jarryd. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Peace out.